turn it on until you switch over. So I think we should be good. But I'll double
Okay,
check.
Cool.
We're live on everywhere else.
All right, bet. Yeah, I switched on the YouTube and the Twitter.
Except for the YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah, we're live on
Dr. EOB3, welcome to Flows.
Oh.
Caleb Jeterson. Jim. What's up, everybody?
Welcome to Flows.
Got a little different shake and bake show this week. I'm excited.
Drew B3's here. That's awesome, man. I haven't seen that guy in like 10 years.
Oh, you mean Dr. EOB3? Is that what you meant?
Jesus Christ. You're lucky I don't have my soundboard up there. But I'm upset, you know. That's on me. You gave me all this extra time to get ready, and here I am without my soundboard, and you caught me napping. I'm embarrassed, guys.
Pickle's here.
Pickle the Flows. Let's ride.
Drew, the man that deals with Zay.
That's crazy work, man. Really, what I meant to say to Drew was,
dog, good work.
Big dog, just go to work. What's the dill pickle? Is everything kosher? Oh man, you guys are wild tonight. Be a good stream.
Nice pickle pun, Falk. Good work.
Man, nah, bro, my man's
up. You can't see it.
My man's just had that jarred up all day. My man's couldn't wait to get the lid off of it.
It was a little tight, so we had to ask his dad. And his dad took out the butter knife and started beating on the edges. Hey, yo.
You know what they say, Drew? Life's a bride.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, Jeterson, if you actually close your eyes and think about me without a shirt on, Steve Wetz shows up. It's actually how it works. I don't make the rules.
Big facts.
Anybody
Florida
can
is
summon
good again.
Anyone can summon Steve Wetz.
Yeah, just tell them Poppin' Ends are breaking with their shirts off. He'll be there. Brownie party, Jesus. Jeez, Bob.
Oh, what's up, Zach?
Welcome to Flows. Oh, Zach, the God?
Yeah, ZT Odd. Welcome to Flows.
Thanks for giving me an opportunity for redemption here.
I'm not going to say it, but you know I love Zach.
I appreciate that.
All right.
That was really nice of you. Soft toss.
All right. Well, you ready? You ready to do this thing, amigo?
It's not enough. Yeah, I'm ready. Somebody's got to do it, Pop.
Good. All right. All right. I think I'm all set. I'm still probably gonna mess this up. I mess it up at least once every stream. But we're gonna go for it here.
At least you're aware, you know? It's the first
Yeah.
step, or so I'm told.
I like to think it's more of like a warm up attempt.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
All right, let's do this thing. What up? What up? What up? It is the Shake and Break Show, episode 74.
Let's go.
All right. We're
Let's
back.
go.
We're back, boys. We're back. We have a little bit of a different show tonight. We covered a lot of hobby news last week. This week we're gonna do something different. But before we get into it, we got to start off with the Papillon question of the week. Brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes or less could save you money on your home or auto
They
insurance.
didn't send the check. They didn't send the check.
Oh, all right. My bad. So, Enzo,
Yo,
what is your dream road trip? Or has it happened already?
it's not happened already. Dream road trip would probably be a road trip in which we hit like Biloxi, hit the casino,
Gotta hit the Nino.
catch a minor league game in Biloxi, and then we go like to a college football game and maybe a professional basketball game and a professional football game if we could squeeze that in. That's the dream road trip. We kind of talked about doing that in Orlando with the Celtics,
Yeah.
but I think it'd be cool on like a bigger scale somewhere else.
Yeah, no, I'm
We definitely got to work in the Nino,
you gotta hit the Nino.
the Neen.
Nah,
Oh,
that's
by the way, this is episode 74, aka episode Fred Johnson, who is currently a Super Bowl champion, who went to
about
the
that?
University of Florida. Go Gators, go Eagles, let's ride.
That's right.
It
Yeah,
all comes together.
I'm repping my birds today. Just 2 days after the absolute thumping of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Guys, if you're a fan of the show, we've talked about it. I talked about it in length. BTA. I said it. It happened. My mouth to God's ears. Go Birds. All right. Back to what we were talking about. Dream road trip. Yeah, so I think like you're like on the right track as far as like where my head's at as well. Like I definitely want to hit like some cool sporting events. I think if we drove up to if you and I took like a week and we drove up to Michigan
Mm-hmm.
to meet up with Bowen and go to a Michigan game as like Michigan fans, like we've always talked about going to like other team stadiums as like fans of theirs.
Yeah.
And then like along the way, hit like some card shops, hit some Ninos, hit some minor league games. I think that would be like that'd be a tough ticket to beat.
Yeah. No doubt. No diggity, no doubt.
Plus, I just think seeing Bowen at the big house would be worth its weight in gold.
Going at the big house. That'd be a movie for sure. He's not even here though.
Nah, he's not. But he'll catch the replay.
I summoned him.
Nice. Well, now we're gonna move on to to the rest of the stream. So
Let's go.
he's gonna have to rewind. All right, Enzo, you set it off, my dude. What's he got?
Yeah, all right. So we're gonna discuss, how to start a card breaking business. Before we do that, let's define what a card break is for anybody listening that may not know. So for those that don't know, sports card breaks are when the breaker buys a box or a case or multiple boxes of sports card products or non-sports card products, and they basically open them live on stream, and people will buy in either as a pick your team where they get all of the cards for that team, or they'll buy into like a random team where the teams are randomized before the break. But essentially it's a way to divvy up a box or a case or multiple boxes, and you get all the cards for your team or your spot from those boxes. So it's something that took off a lot during the pandemic boom. It definitely existed before that. There was a lot of breakers before that. It just wasn't as widespread as it is today. So yeah, I mean, breakers basically, they open the boxes on stream, they sort them out, they mail them to the customers, and in return, they get a small percentage of profit, sometimes big percentage, depending on
It depends on who you ask.
Depends on who it is, but ideally, it's it's a small margin for the service of opening it, sorting it, mailing it out, putting the supplies on the cars, the top loaders, penny sleeves, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think to your point, the percent should be commensurate to the service.
Sure.
Just like
all breaks aren't created equally. We know that.
I mean, which you actually we're gonna go a little more into
we'll go
as we
further
go here. So you decide that you want to break, and so like, what's the first thing I gotta do? I'm guy listening right now who wants to be a breaker. What do I do?
Yeah, so strongly consider like setting up a legal entity for your business. A lot of people don't do that, and you can definitely get by without it, but there's just definitely advantages to like getting officially like licensed in your state as like an LLC or sole proprietor, or LLP, or whatever you decide. And you can talk to like an accountant about that. We can't give that advice on the stream. But essentially you want to get set up legally, get an LLC, an LLP, or sole proprietorship, whatever works best for you. That's what we did first. Like that was the first step for us, was get that sorted out, get like a logo done. Break mats were a thing, because you do need a break mat. Now you don't need a branded one to start, like obviously we were kind of different when we started in the sense that we were already established breakers on our own.
Yeah.
But like just going back to like when I first started, I don't even think I had a break mat, right?
I didn't.
Like I just broke at my kitchen table.
I didn't, and then I remember Danielle. She saw how like into it I was getting, and she bought me like a Philadelphia Eagles like football field like break mat that I still have.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, no, and you guys actually, I think you and British Mike racked me my first break mat. I actually found it the other day because I thought I lost it or got rid of it somehow, and I found it the other day, and I was like, I'm definitely gonna get this thing in a frame one day. It's really cool. First time doing like my own business. So but yeah, I mean, as far as like essential tools for like starting your card breaking business, you need something to stream on. For most people, that's going to be your phone, right? Like it's something that you already have. It's pretty easy to set up streaming. When we started, me and Pop both were streaming off from Twitter. Like it was literally just going live on Twitter. So you need that. You're going to need something to hold your phone, ideally, like a stand. Because if you decide you want to go live and you don't have something to hold your phone, you can't hold it while opening cards. So you need a card stand. You do not necessarily need a brake mat, but it is recommended. It just looks more professional.
Same thing with lighting.
Lighting, something that you really didn't think about.
Lighting's important. Obviously, if you're just starting out, there's no need to go buy 5 over the head lights that are going to cost you, $600 to turn it into a brake studio. Like, really, all you need is like just to make sure your lighting in your room is good. You can always test it, and then if you want to invest, you can start by getting a ring light for your desk. And then potentially adding a second.
There's some super cheap options for ring lights too. Like, you don't need to get we've got the really big ones and high end ones because we've been doing this a while. But like when we started, my first ring light was like $10 on Amazon,
$15 or $20, I think.
It
had the whole tripod folded out.
Yeah, and you can get the ones that clip on your desk. Basically, just some source of external light to kind of just make the cards pop. Is, again, not necessary, but highly recommended. And then you're going to need stuff for like mailing. So you have to mail out these packages, right, to your customers. You're going to want some bubble mailers. You're going to want team bags because that's how you sort. You can put them in team bags and write the name of the person on the team bag. You're going to need top loaders and penny sleeves because if you hit something big, you have to be able to protect it, obviously, before you mail it.
You're going to want to make sure that, depending on what you're ripping, you have the proper top loaders for the product.
Yeah, that's something that's overlooked a lot, too. Yeah,
it's a little different.
100-point card.
Yep.
You better have 100-point top loaders because it's not gonna. If you try to cram it into a 60, you're gonna hurt the card.
And even more common, which I see regular breakers doing this. If you are opening like older, especially the past 3 or 4 years, Bowman products, the hits need to go in 60 points or 55 points, and people jam them into 35s all day long. If you're going to get into breaking, like, that's part of what you have to know is like, what am I opening? What can come out of this? And like, do I have the supplies to ship it? I can tell you when I started breaking in my 1-bedroom apartment in the living room, and I pulled my first booklet, I was lost. What am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah.
And I pulled a patch card that was like,
can always help.
It was like one of those, it was like one of those like cleats. I'm like, dude, this could, like, how am I supposed to ship this?
Hey, the opening day patches with like part of the field in it. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah, no. So definitely something to think about as well. But yeah, you want to have the stuff to complete the process. Most people think like you buy a box of product and you like go from there. But if you're going to do it as a business, I suggest working the other way, making sure you have everything that you need, and then worrying about the product. Product's pretty easy to buy.
And ideally, like you said, I mean, having the right stuff set up beforehand is just going to make it so much smoother. Now, you don't have to like go crazy and get a case of top loaders or a case of penny sleeves. When you start to run more breaks, you can definitely do that. But at first, bro, you can just go to Walmart, grab a couple packs of top loaders or your hobby shop, a couple packs of penny sleeves. Like, you can do it break by break. You can say, okay, well, I'm opening Inception. I'm going to need 100 points. Go to your LCS. Hey, I just need a pack of 100 points or 2 packs or whatever. You can kind of buy it as you go when you start because you're not running so much volume. And that way the cost of entry is very low.
Yeah.
So it just really helps with professional presentation. Like this day and age, man, there's a lot of breakers out there. And one of the things that me and Pop try to do with NoFlow really is set ourselves apart from a lot of people. And you do that with professional presentation and how you package and mail and the additional services and stuff. But when you're getting started, at least if you can present like a minimally professional setup just to get you started, it'll do wonders.
That actually kind of goes into the next thing, which is choosing the platform that you're going to stream on, or sell your breaks on. Obviously we're coming to you live from carculture.net, just part of the district community. We have our own biases in that regard. But we've also streamed on a ton of different platforms. We've mained YouTube, we've mained Twitch, we've mained Twitter as like our sole places that we've streamed. But thinking about where you're going to stream, how you're going to grow your audience, how you're going to attract customers, what's your social media strategy? Is there a strategy? It's all things to think about when you get involved in breaking. But I can tell you it's 100% different for everyone. I think the biggest thing you can do, and Enzo and I are both resources on this, is just ask people. There's going to be breakers that hide their secrets like they have, the Fountain of Youth. Ultimately, like this is a small business like many others. And Enzo and I feel like if you work together with other small business owners, it's a much better environment than trying to be competitive, at least in a combative way.
Sure.
So if anyone ever has any questions or like wants to learn more about anything that we talk about tonight, including how to start your own breaking business, like reach out to us. Use the resources around you. They're going to tell you, I had this experience on Whatnot. I had this experience on Fanatics Live. I tried this. Many people out there are like genuinely good people and want to see your business grow. So don't hesitate to reach out to people.
Yeah. And as far as like picking the right platform, me and Pop both started on X, but I will say it was a lot easier when we started, because there was a lot of people doing it. Essentially we would post the breaks as tweets. So usually it would be like a picture of the product. I'm just thinking like when we started. Now we do flyers, but originally it was like a picture of the product, and it would say, new break, 2021 Bowman Draft Jumbo Box, 3-tiered random. And you detail the price, what the price got you. So, let's say it was $60 for 3 tiered random teams, one from each tier. And you'd show the tiers as well. Like, usually we would just do like a screenshot or whatever from our PC or our phone. So you can do it on X that way. I will say, like, in this day and age, it feels like live selling platforms have kind of taken over. So Fanatics Live, Whatnot, District. If anybody uses it, Drib, but
no, not like this.
They just have it's like an integrated way to go live and sell while you're live. And that to us has been so invaluable. Like when we started on X or Twitter as it was back then, like we would have to post a break. People would claim the breaks by commenting on the thread. They'd say take 1 or take 2 or in for 1 and in for 2, and you'd have to like manually write this stuff down. Like you would have to write it down. And what's crazier even is then people would DM you and they'd be like, oh, I'm in for 4, and it's like, well, now it's not on the thread, so you really better make sure you write that down because you will forget it. And so that's just something to consider when you're doing like manually posting like that. If you use a live stream platform, you still need to promote it via social media, ideally, because even though you're ready to break, you got to have people fill in your breaks. And the only way to fill your breaks is to promote your breaks. And promoting your breaks happens on social media. So think Instagram, TikTok. We've done TikTok videos before. we stay on Instagram reels and posts, and our main way that we push our breaks is through X right now, still to this day. And you guys have seen those posts if you follow our No Flow Cards accounts, but essentially it's just, you keep tweeting it out. You just got to keep doing it. And it's going to, like, I'll tell you right now, when you start out, it's going to be rough. It's going to be tough. People are not going to join your breaks right away. You know what I mean? Like you might have some boys that'll join in. But it's really tough when you're starting out to get people to join, but you have to stick with it. You have to keep posting. Even though you see it and you see only one retweet and 500 views, you're like, you're getting down. Just keep going. Just keep going. And I'll tell you what, when you're starting out too, people will be patient. Just explain to them, hey man, I just started breaking. So, it's been a while, it's been a couple of days. This hasn't filled. And just people are very understanding, especially when you tell them like, hey, you're one of my first customers. They love hearing stuff like that. You know what I mean? Shoot, some of my first customers are right here in this chat right now. You know what I mean? They still hang out with us. So, but yeah, so choosing the right platform and selling your breaks that way. You can also use eBay. Some people have used eBay with success. We've never done that. That's never been a thing that we've tried, but there's definitely people out there that have success doing that. And then just going live on YouTube, Facebook, I'll tell you right now, we've not been able to crack Facebook. So if you learn how to crack Facebook, you come let us know, you come teach us a thing or two. But Facebook's a little more tough because usually it has to be done in like groups. So you have to make a group and kind of start that way. And then there's people that break on like exclusively on Instagram and TikTok. So, I mean, there's really a ton of avenues. And I will tell you that everybody's different, right? Like what works for us might not work for other people. And we've seen that pop, right? Like we've seen our peers that we kind of came up with on X, the Twitter breakers, as I like to call us, the Twitter breaker coalition. But we've kind of split apart, dude. It's cool to see that like some people are on Fanatics Live now, and some people are on Loop, and some people are on District, and some people still use the YouTube.
The YouTube is wild.
I don't know why I said it like that, like my grandma. The YouTube. But it's just, you just because you try something doesn't mean you're married to it, like experiment, see what works for you, man.
Yeah. So before we keep going, I do want to kind of circle on some questions from chat. First one I see is, what's the best way to source product? I'll start a little bit by saying, there's no wrong way of doing it. And there's no right way of doing it. You just have to do it. And it's crazy, but it's just 1 week it will be ordering on David Adams or Steel City or Blowout or any of those big box companies. Like 1 week, that'll be the move.
Big three.
Another week, it'll be ordering it on eBay from an LCS that posts their loose boxes on eBay. It varies. DealerNet. Oh, jeez.
I know it's tough, but it can be done.
DealerNet's another, and also just networking.
Hey, Ryan's Discord, Reddit. I mean, there's plenty of places to buy boxes from.
Yeah, so that's what I think. Networking too, like, really helps. Knowing people on various social media platforms with various interests definitely helps. I know a few weeks back we didn't end up buying any from the particular people that reached out, but I posted about Pokemon boxes, and I don't really have a big Pokemon following. I just started really getting into it. But I immediately got, 10 or 15 people commenting with different things. And sometimes it's as simple as putting a tweet out, asking your friends to retweet it. And man, you'll find deals. Again, you got to be careful. You got to do vetting. Always pay with goods and services. Even if they are your friend or family.
What about David and Adam, bro? They're my friends and my family now. David and Adam, both of them, both of the boys, and the god Troy, DA. Love that guy, man. What a guy.
It's David Adams' son.
Good dude.
Should you start with a case or just a one boxer? And so this seems like a layup, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, don't start with a case. So, here's the thing: a lot of people that have never like run a break don't understand how much work a case break is. Not only to fill it because it's more expensive, right? But because sorting it is like, if you've never, bro, could you imagine, Pop, if you never sorted before and I just dropped an entire case of super jumbo paper included and was like, have fun?
Yeah.
How long do you think that would have taken you?
No, dude.
That's
So
3,600 cards.
So Bowen, excuse me, Bowen's in chat and he's saying he's going to start with the case. So I actually think the example of using Bowman U is even more hectic because it's less cards.
Oh yeah,
but there's no like clean way of sorting it. And you think you know conferences and you can sort by conferences? I promise you, there's 4 teams in each conference that you don't think are in that conference.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah, I mean, you can work up to cases. I would say start with one boxers. I mean, dude, you can start with retail. I started doing retail rips at cost for people.
Now I will say
experience of like going live and like opening cards.
Now I will say if you're gonna do retail, don't mark it up and then mark up your margin. Whatever you paid plus your little bit of margin, don't go crazy. Again, and I actually say that about anyone that's breaking to start. Like if you're running a break and you're trying to make $150, $200 on one box,
we see it all the time.
It's tough. You will struggle. You will take forever to fill. You will have to end up discounting. You're gonna end up making 70 out the door. It's gonna take you 2.5 weeks, and none of those people are gonna come back.
Yeah, that actually touches on the question Jeff asked. Is it smart to cut your margin very low to break in, maybe even a few loss leader breaks? The answer is yes. When you start out, you should be making peanuts. It's the same adage, that says, when you start a business, you're not going to make money for 2 years. You can definitely make money in the first 2 years. Don't get me wrong. But ideally, when you're starting out, you're going to want to cut deals. You're going to want to, you don't want to work for free. I get that, but definitely work for peanuts just to get your name out there. And fill some breaks. And look, people would be understanding. When we started, we weren't making a ton. I think I was maybe making like 20 or 30 bucks a break or something. I was just doing it for fun.
But by the time that right before we joined, I'd lost 12 grand in 2 years. So
yeah. Well, it brings me to my next segment, financial management. Wow. Perfect segue. Thanks, Bob. All right, so it's no secret to anybody that knows me and Pop. I am the numbers guy. I am the chief financial officer of No Flow Cards, and I would tell you this: we've talked to people that know other breakers, and they are astounded that we even have like a pulse on our sales numbers, on how much we make, on what we need to make. There are a ton of people out there that go live, start a breaking business, and have no clue what they're doing financially. And I will tell you right now, that is a recipe for disaster. We have seen people that we know that are breakers fold because they went so far into debt and they had no idea.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of moving parts. It's a lot of in and out. You look at your account, you're like, oh, I've got $10,000, but you don't realize that you're sitting, you got to use that to buy product that and your credit card bill is $14,000. Yeah. So what I would say to anybody starting is use YouTube University and look up how to track finances for a small business. You don't have to go into full accounting mode. All right. Just basic in and out of, keeping track of what your deposit accounts are at, your credit accounts are at, how much inventory you have. And I would also say learn how to price your breaks in that regard too. Like learn what you need to make, because now, again, we talked about the live streaming platform as being like the new wave or whatever. But with those live streaming platform comes additional fees that you usually didn't, we didn't deal with when we were on Twitter and we were breaking, bro style friends and family. You know what I mean? Like it was, we were getting all the money. So it was like, okay, perfect. Like we didn't even have to account for fees. We knew exactly what we were getting. But with live stream platforms, you have to account for payment processing and you have to account for the platform fees. So you can't just say, okay, this box is 200. I want to make 50. I'm going to do 250 divided by 10 spots, 25 a spot. If you do that, you're going to lose money because you're not accounting for the fees that you're about to take in. So I would say at least, again, just YouTube University it, spend an evening, watch a couple of videos on how to track finances for a small business. Use an Excel sheet. That's what I use. Pop makes fun of me because of my Excel love. But just check yourself before you wreck yourself, bro. I promise you it will pay so many dividends, no pun intended, if you just take the time to learn it before you just start throwing money around. Because it's easy to throw money around, right? Pop, I mean, you know this, right?
Oh,
like
dude.
You start out with $500 boxes. Next thing you know, you're making money. You got $700 in the account. I can buy a $700 box and then $1,000 box, and it just keeps going. And if you're just out there in the dark throwing darts, bro, it's
again, like
a tough scene.
It's Enzo is definitely the one to talk to it, but I can talk to it from the other side of like I genuinely had no idea what I was doing financially. I had all of my money going into my personal account, coming in and out of my personal account. It was bad, and I think that through the years of working with Enzo, like I've learned so much that like I know the consequences of doing it wrong, and I know the simplicity of just starting off by doing it right. So I can't stress enough that like if you're going to run a business, take it somewhat seriously. And again, to Enzo's point, you don't need to go crazy, but like simple tracking of that stuff will like completely change the dynamic of business. I can tell you, knowing you have a fat credit card bill due in 2 days and you're sitting on a mountain of product and brakes are slow, that's like the worst feeling in the world. And Enzo and I don't do that anymore. And that's with experience and that's with like doing things right. So I just can't stress enough that like removing the fear and removing the negative side effects of things early is a big deal.
And I'll also tell you, I'll caution you against this just because we have real life examples of this. And it's something that a lot of people do to start out. They basically collect money for a break before buying the product. Don't do that. 100% don't do that. That can backfire in a terrible way.
Yeah.
And the short and gritty of it is you'd be a scammer. That's like the worst case scenario. So make sure you have enough to at least buy your first box before you start as well. Basically, you just build up your capital. Whatever you got to do it. If you got to do some stack sales to get started, so be it, man. But just make sure you have enough to buy the product you're breaking. Don't overshoot. We knew people back in the day that would pre-sell cases, and they literally wouldn't buy them until they had enough money from the spots. That is a terrible, terrible, terrible way to run a business.
Yeah. Back then, dude, it was really bad because boxes would go up $200.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So if you set your price for a break at 1,000 and then the box was 900, now you're making 100 after fees and shipping, and not a great place to be on a case. So something to consider.
Another thing brought up in chat, as far as working with other small businesses, aka other breakers, what types of collabs do you think work well and what don't? Assuming you've thought about it or have done it. So I think Enzo and I both have done more collaboration than most are willing to try. I say that because ultimately people in this business are very protective of their customers.
Sure.
In reality, the world's an and world. It's not an or. So if someone likes brakes and you have a good offering, they will join yours and someone else's. That's just normally how it goes. But yeah, as far as working with with other people. We've done breaks where I open one product and the other breaker opens another, and you get a team. You say you get the Indianapolis Colts in both sides of the break, but two different people rip it. I've done that. We've done like dueling cases, where we're like trying to see what case is going to have the best hit.
Yeah, and whoever joins that side is entered for the giveaway if that side wins. There's a ton of cool different formats. Pop, you remember we used to do dueling. We used to do Midnight Madness collaborations.
Yeah, no, I mean,
that was our thing.
Yeah,
I'd rip 6 boxes, you rip 5 boxes or whatever, and it'd be an 11-box baseball madness. We'd run it every week. It was so fun.
Yep. And then Donnie and I used to do the Mosaic football Mega Johns. He'd rip like a whole case of blasters, and I'd be ripping a ton of shit.
We've done stuff with budget breaks, union breaks. Obviously, we were in the MBB district. We did stuff there as well. So I mean, also, I mean, I'm going to toot our horn a little bit. So get ready, Pop. But we founded a coalition essentially of breakers in the LEH. So for those of you that don't know, our Discord, the No Flow Cards Discord, has had 3 names in its history. In 2020, it was the Papayan Syndicate Discord. Okay. And it was basically a Discord for Pop's breaks and his customers. And it was basically just our local watering hole, man. It was such a great time. We'd have 10 people in voice chat every night. We'd be drinking, playing video games.
It kind of smelled like a bar.
Sports.
You could just smell.
It was a dive bar.
You smell old cigarettes. Just.
Yeah, but so then it morphed because I became a breaker, and then we actually brought on 3 breakers. Cowtown Collect, Thundy Card. I forget the name of his. Was it Thundy Cards Breaks?
Thundercats Breaks.
Thundycats Cards. Thundycats Cards or something. Yeah, Thundy. You guys know Thundy. And then Hunt Vlogs, aka Hunt the God. And we all were breaking in the same Discord server, and we each had different channels, and we posted our breaks, and it worked well. Like, dude, it's funny because a lot of people, like Pop said, they think they're going to cannibalize each other, but I think it actually helped us become stronger.
For sure.
And it was just cool as hell, bro, because like we were all breaking different stuff at the time for the most part. Like Donnie was doing a lot of football and soccer. You and I were doing a lot of baseball. You know, Hunt would do football here and there. Thundy was doing 40, blaster.
Yeah, Thundy retail breaks were such a vibe, bro.
Yo, bro, OG Thundy retail breaks were so fire. But yeah, we've done a lot of collaboration to answer that question, and I think it's you got to make sure you're doing it with the right people, and it can definitely benefit both parties. But also non-breaker collabs, dude. I tell you right now, this is something I wish we had. Pop is a relationship with a local LCS.
Yeah.
Because I think for a breaker, that is invaluable to be able to like go somewhere and just get product, and like have that kind of lifeline available to you. It's something that we lack, and I think that if we had it, it would make our business that much better.
Yeah, no, I agree. Another thing on the topic of breaker collabs, Enzo and I, we want to see people have fun. We want to see people follow their dreams. So if any of you out there want to become a breaker, reach out to us. We'd be willing to help. We'd be willing to coach. We'd give you a platform. And yeah, I mean, when I got in this hobby, I never realized that like this is what I wanted to do. I always thought I would do like a podcast talking about football, talking about betting. Enzo and I talked about it for years before the hobby, was even thought of for us. And when I found breaking, I realized that like it has a lot of those elements to it. And as I started to do it, I like fell in love with it. So if you ever like thought about hosting some type of podcast or sports talk show or something like that, and you also love the idea of breaking, definitely reach out, because it could be something that we can help you with and help
Yeah.
you execute that.
Yep. And then real quick, we just got a couple more points to talk through here. First one is setting your pricing strategies. So we kind of talked about that a little bit as far as like how does your strategy like to start off is to go small. I will tell you guys, breaking is not a high margin business for the most part. It can be like if once you get distribution and allocation and direct, but the reality is that's if it even happens, it'll be a long way out. So when you're starting out, margins are going to be thin if you're going to succeed. I will tell you right now, Pop and I, candidly, we shoot for anywhere from 10 to 20, maybe 25% if it's a high card count break, but it's not much, you know. Like when I talk to people in other business, they're like, "What are your margins?" Like, yeah, they're not great. But it's also high dollar stuff, so it's a lot of in, it's a lot of out. Now, when you're pricing your breaks, you want to make sure you take into account obviously the product cost. Now, there's a couple of different ways to do that. You can either do the market cost of the product right now, so like the restock cost, or you can do it at the cost that you purchase the box at. The only problem with doing it at the price you purchased at is if the price goes up, you could be leaving money on the table, and if the price goes down, then you look like you're scalping people, and people will see it that way.
Yeah.
Like they won't care that you bought the box for 200 more than the guy next door. They're going to see your price and be like, why is it, $20 more per spot? So market rate can be a good way to do it. You can also do like a hybrid of that. You definitely need to factor in your supplies, because those do cost money. It's not a lot when you buy them in bulk, but it's definitely an added cost. You need to know what your shipping costs would be, and then your platform fees and your payment processing fees. So you need to figure out what your total is, add your profit, what you want to make to that, and then do the math on the spots. Don't do it backwards. It can get weird. So that's the way you do pricing. And if you guys, like Pop said, if you have questions about that stuff, please DM us. We can help you develop pricing and everything like that.
Whether you want to break on car culture or not, let me be clear. That's not a we're going to hold you hostage. We'd love to have you, but we want to help you either way, because ultimately we both love this hobby, and if we can get more people to enjoy it as much as we do, then it's a huge win.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that's pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions, we'll give you a couple minutes to throw them in chat. But that's pretty much all we have. Again, like Pop said, just reach out. We're willing to help. We don't care where you break. It's not for any personal gain for us whatsoever. We just like to help people succeed. And we've been doing this for almost 5 years now, and so we've got some experience we can help you with. What's
been your favorite product to break? So it always changes. But I can tell you recently, it's definitely been Bowman U Sapphire. Just the amount of insane hits that we've pulled.
Every card is shiny. Every single card.
Yeah, no,
there are no like the base cards look amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. And then that Star Wars high tech was freaking awesome.
Yeah, every card is shiny. Every card.
Yeah, so
you see the theme, guys.
Yeah, I'll say it definitely varies on the season. There's always, for me, this is probably, you might not even expect this, Enzo. I have a soft spot for Mosaic and Prism football retail, because that's what I broke when I was.
Oh, I do know that.
When I was coming up. And like as you
had me order Prism retail this week. Yes, I'm aware.
I still like ripping that stuff. Again, like bang for your buck, dollars to donuts. There's worse ways to spend your money. It's a fun little rip. Now paying resale on that stuff's a different story. Um,
Sure.
but if you're
Yeah.
getting it at retail, it's a fun rip, and yeah, that's probably
Well, in 2020
the-
we had to do it at a resale, but it was
Oh
okay
my
back then.
God, bro,
It was
bro.
expected.
But I remember buying like 10 blasters at like 70 a piece and saying to you, I can't believe I just robbed this guy.
Yeah. Dude, I remember this is you guys want to hear sidebar peak 2020 breaking retail story. This is insane. I literally drove down to see Pop and I hit a small town Walmart. I'm talking like a town of like 1,000 people. I hit their Walmart and they had Illusions. Guys, Illusions. You would never catch us breaking Illusions retail right now. Anybody really. I bought every single blaster on that shelf.
It was like 38
Every
blasters
single
or
one.
something.
It was 38 blasters, and we broke all of them, and we snap filled that break in 10 minutes because we ran it at cost.
Yeah.
Or, we factored pricing at cost. We didn't run it at cost. We made money on it. But, yeah, just to show you how the landscape has changed quite a bit. It's pretty crazy. But, yeah, favorite product to break for me specifically, yeah, I'd say Topps Chrome Sapphire, Topps Chrome Update Sapphire. That was like, for me, that was just like insane. Every card is shiny, which I love. Tons of color, great autograph checklist. I mean, it's going to be one I tell my grandkids about, Also, 23 logo fractor was fantastic. 24, they shot it in the foot by increasing the print run on it. But 22 and 23 logo fractor were chef's kiss. You could not open a case without hitting a big name.
Yeah.
It was impossible.
Yeah, no. It was good times.
It was impossible. And then Bone asked, should you know about the product you're breaking? So we're of the camp that you should know about the sports or the products you're breaking. I'll say this, at least you should know about the product. So you should know the parallel names. A lot of times, there's times that we don't, but we'll pull up the checklist live because it enhances the experience of your customer if they know what parallel they've hit when they go to list it on eBay or District. Plus, it just makes it a better break all around. Like if I'm breaking and I'm like, oh, look at this blue shiny thing to 10, yeah, whatever that is, and I just or I pull an insert and I don't know if it's a short print, and then I don't sleeve and top load it. There's definitely drawbacks to not knowing the product. And we'll take it even a step further. And we think you should at least have like a basic solid foundation of like the sport that you're breaking. It just enhances the experience of your customers, and for everybody really. When we do football breaks and we have anecdotal facts and stuff like that, like that's cool. It makes it a more interactive experience.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I'll tell you right now, a lot of people are put off by breakers who can't pronounce names right. And like I break hockey, dude, and I don't pronounce the names like right 100%. But you know what I did? Like literally after our first or second week breaking hockey, I looked up the NHL official pronunciation guide and I downloaded it and I studied it for a little bit. And every once in a while,
Palm
I'll
Beach
pull it back
Sports
up.
Cards in chat actually said breakers who can't pronounce players' names drive me nuts. Now I will say this: I've inadvertently driven people away from the stream by jokingly pronouncing the names incorrectly. I had a guy yell at me in stream because I kept saying NFL debut instead of NFL debut. The guy
too funny, dude.
guy had a meltdown in stream. He said he's never
He's like,
joining
it's
ever again.
debut.
He said it's not.
Yeah, we've
debut.
heard some breakers say some crazy names. And like, look, here's the thing: do we get every name right? Do we get every name right? No, but somebody called Rahamondre Stevenson. I'm not even joking, you guys. I'm not joking. Somebody said Rahamondre, like 2 syllables. Rahamondre. And again, like I break hockey and I definitely mispronounce names, but these guys always look out for me and help me learn.
The humidor.
Or like the college football stuff. Like you thought I was gonna falter with Nico.
Oh yeah,
and I nailed it.
I don't
I'll
even
pull up
try.
interviews, bro. I pull up interviews.
No, bro. The Enzo's excitement pulling a DJ Uyunglele.
Uyangalale! That's for Palm Beach. Shout out to Palm Beach Sports Cards. I'm sure he's happy to see DJ off to the next level. All right, next question. Is there one product you haven't ran a break for that you want to?
Leaf Lumber Kings. Next question.
Bro, I knew you, but you've broken Leaf Lumber Kings before.
But I haven't done a full case.
Okay, so a case. All right. I would say I don't think there's a ton of value in it, but I would like to. It would be cool to run like Transcendent or Definitive.
Yeah,
Like a case break of those. Flawless, immaculate, like that would be cool. You know. But no, if you guys don't know, Leaf Lumber Kings is pretty fire. Look it up. Look, Leaf's not the best at things, but Leaf Lumber Kings is pretty cool. Look it up. I promise you. It's legit.
Almost said flawless college football or immaculate. Yeah. So like
I want to hit a logo, man.
If we're talking about like we're gonna post it and it's gonna snap fill, then my answer would totally be like one of those types of cases. But in the world of like that we could actually pull off, I'm going full case Leaf Lumber Kings.
Love that. Freaking love it. All right, last call for questions, guys. We're gonna shut down shop here shortly, but again, you can also DM us if you don't want to ask it in chat. We're happy to help where we can. You just have to give us 5% of all your sales. I'm just kidding.
What's a case of flawless run? So I believe they're 2-box cases, $9K a box. Could be wrong.
Yeah, I think so. I'm pulling it up right now. 2023 is at $9,000 a case. If it would load. DA's not having any of me right now. They're like, nope. I heard you say calls David and Adam.
Buy it.
22-23 flawless basketball hobby 2-box case, $29,000.
Okay. And 22-23, who's the chase?
That's what? Jaden Ivey and the gang.
Yeah, so
Chetty Wap.
Yeah.
So it's not even like Vic. That's not even like Wemby.
Yeah.
Could you imagine, bro? Wemby's flawless is going to be.
Oh, dude.
Is it out yet? I'm curious. We don't even dabble in this world, so like we have no idea when flawless comes out. National Treasures first off the line basketball 4-box case, $29,000 on DA right now.
There you go.
12-box hobby of Prism, $15,000. Yeah, the Wemby effect is real.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What else we got? How important is branding?
I think it's very important. Pop is more of the marketer here, but through our partnership, he's definitely got me going on it. But I think it's very important to have like a logo and a name and a brand. Like you don't have to have like we have like the Let's Ride thing, right? You don't necessarily need to have something like that, but like a nice slogan or something, or like or what is it, mission statement?
Yeah. No, I think branding's like literally everything in a small business, especially.
Yeah.
You go into it. I look at it as like think about like walking into a flea market, and there's all of these like random people with like tables and like a blanket on their table.
Example.
And they're selling whatever. They're selling their tchotchkes and their knickknacks. And then you like turn the corner and there's a whole room that this guy has, super clean, has has his sign and with a neon sign pointing at the door.
Yeah.
And you go, oh shit, okay, like this is different from the guy across the street who just has a blanket out.
Yeah.
And more people will go into the small shop than they would necessarily traverse the table with the blanket.
It should, and like even just something as simple as having a logo, man. It just gives you something that people see and will know that's you. You know what I mean? Like they associate with you. So like our stuff's on. I mean, even when we do our reels, like at the end, there's a logo, an animated logo scene. Because if you don't have that, then they have to read the @ on the video to see that it's you.
Yep.
But with us, it's like, man, you see it on my brake stands. You see it on my brake mat. You see it on the flag in the background. You see it at the end of the video. You see it right now. Right now. Brand is all. Let's ride.
Yeah. Now, again, when you first start out, it's a little different.
I wish I was wearing my polo right now.
But I think even if you're not going to be a breaker or run a small business, personal branding is a real thing. I have friends in this community that aren't breakers, that have built quite the personal brand to the point that strangers would stick up for them.
Yeah, and we got I mean, just as an example, dude, Glom's Cards.
Yep.
Gloms is known for having stack sales. He's been running stack sales for years on Twitter, and he's got regulars that seek him out and know what he's about. I mean,
Yeah, so
Ryan's Cards, card collector too. You know what I mean? These guys weren't breakers.
Yeah.
But they created a brand.
Yeah, so especially in the long term, branding is going to be everything. What else do you have me? All right, I don't see any more questions in chat. But again, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to help you start your breaking journey if that's what you want to get into. If you want to be a live seller, we'd love to help you. Or if you're already a small business owner and you just want to talk shop, we sit in the Discord, the NoFlow Discord, just about every day. If you don't know where that is, check any of our listings on cardculture.net. Any of our break listings will have a link to the NoFlow Discord. And there's voice chats in there. And literally, if we're not streaming, we're hanging out in there almost every night. So take advantage of that. Come pick our brain. Because Enzo and I sit there and brainstorm all night anyway, and would love to chat.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that's it for tonight. Enzo, are we breaking or are we shaking?
It looks like we're shaking. I don't think we have anything.
Yeah, we don't have anything
up here
close enough.
Aside from we could stay live for like a couple of minutes if you want to see if Warner Brothers or Star Wars closed, but other than that, all the other big breaks are.
Yeah, no, let's just we'll close up for Thursday. For those of you who are into Pokemon, we do have three different options for our Pokemon stream, which is going to be Sunday night, 7:30 Eastern. Directly following that, friend of the flow 606 is going to be going live with some live sales. So that's going to be a cool little night. And we have some dope PYTs up. We have a full case of Sapphire, Bowman U. We got the new Kakao Cosmos up in the store. We have a big PYT football break that is Mosaic Hobby and Prism No Huddle. We have the Star Wars breakup. We got football stack, baseball stack. We also have a Bowman Draft
PYT.
Bowman Draft PYT. So we got a ton of cool stuff up. Should be a fun week of breaks. And of course,
And of course,
lest we forget, Saturday night.
can't forget, never.
Saturday night is going to be an absolute movie. It is our good friend Bowen's birthday stream. He'll be co-hosting. There will be tons of break spots given away. If you love Bowen and you know about Bowen, he likes to rack a lot of stuff to people. That's just his steez. So if you're ever wondering, like, ooh, like what can we do for Bowen for his birthday? Hit him up. He would rather you hit him up and expand the racks that are going to occur on Saturday than for you to mail him something. So hit him up. We're game planning with him. It's going to be a vibe. And I've actually have it on good authority that Bowen has already been racked a spot for his birthday stream. And I didn't even think that was allowed. So it's going to get crazy. We hope to see you all there. We'll be back on Thursday for a Thursday night no flow shake-a-thon. And then we'll be back Saturday and Sunday this week. Should be a good time. We love you. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Shake and Break Show. And until next time, No Flow Nation,
Why not us?
let's ride.